Good evening, everyone. Me and Buck are here. Well, Buck is here at the spot, waiting for his dinner, of course. Buck didn't show up this morning for breakfast. I kept calling him. I actually sat here for a half hour this morning waiting for him, which this is what he does every year when it's around like going into rut. That's what he does. He doesn't always pop up for breakfast, but then he comes like early afternoon eating his breakfast. So I know he does come around. He does come back because usually my father-in-law and my husband, they'll spot him before they go out. So Buck did show up today, but really, really late. That's why I didn't get it on camera, because he wasn't here for breakfast. Right, big boy? Because you have other minds? You have other things in mind right now? So now he's here for dinner, because you know Buck, for dinner time, he's always on time. He loves dinner. Dinner, he loves. He doesn't miss dinner. Breakfast, he's like, okay, even if I miss it, I don't see her there, I know I'm gonna have my food waiting. He's smart, you know, he's not dumb. He knows that even though he's not gonna see me like for a little bit in the morning, he knows he's gonna see. Where'd you drop that apple? On your side. He knows he's gonna see his food. His food is always gonna be there for him. Right, big boy? There you go. So now Buck is eating his dinner. It was actually a chilly day today, I have to say. I had to open up my electric fireplace. I have a fireplace. It's an electric fireplace. And I had to turn it on this morning for a little bit because it's pretty chilly. Now in the house it's pretty warm because the sun shining inside the house. It warmed up, you know, the sunlight warmed up the house. But in the mornings it's pretty chilly inside the house. I'm like, ooh. Like now the weather is getting cold, guys. The weather's changing. It's like we're getting that November feeling. You want me to put the rest? All right, I'll put the rest in your bucket. He wants the rest in his bucket. Which is good because my father-in-law is watching my son. On Wednesdays, my father-in-law watches my son for dinner time. And my son right now, that he's moody, he wants to be held and rocked. So that's why it's good, Buck, that you want the food in here right now. Because I can't stay out here too long. I have to go back inside, but I stay out with him long enough where he eats most of his dinner and I get to spend a few minutes with him. I filled up the little one's bowl. They have water. He has water. His water is filled to the top. Thank God I brought out extra water with me in the water bucket because their water was empty. Their bowl was like empty. So at least now the little ones, they have water. That's good. And Buck is eating his dinner. Yeah, so that's why this morning, you guys are not going to see a morning video for today because Buck did not show up this morning. He ended up showing up at like 12:30 because my husband was getting ready to go to work this afternoon. And my husband texted me telling me, all right, Buck is at the spot eating his breakfast. He came late today. I was like, yeah, he must be taking his long walks this morning. So that's why some mornings right now with Buck going into rut, you know, he's not always going to pop up. But he'll go back to his schedule in time. He'll tell me when. When he starts popping up every morning here waiting, then I know he's back to his, you know, routine. But for the past like 2 weeks, Buck's been like every other day like missing breakfast. But I know he comes back to eat it, so he doesn't show up on time for me to watch him eat his breakfast, but he does show up to eat it after. So now Buck is having his butternut squash, strawberries, corn, and apples. Right? It was a good breakfast, my big boy. I mean, a good dinner. You hear me? I'm thinking it's like morning right now. It's evening. He's eating his dinner. Bucky, you having your dinner? For dinner, he's always on time. I threw seeded bread. I threw a few pieces close by like that, close by, because I know Buck likes eating them too. So I threw a few pieces close by for him. And that's probably where he's going. Let's see if that's where he's headed to. Yep. Yeah, he has some butternut squash in there. But you still love some butternut squash, baby. You love some butternut squash. Okay. Hold on one second, guys. Okay. Yeah, Buck is still there. He still has a few corn, a couple pieces of butternut squash left in his bucket. It's beautiful out, but there's like a little chill in the air. I'm not gonna lie. There's a little chill. Like, it's a little chilly. Just a little bit, tiny bit. It's not freezing cold or anything. It's just a little tiny bit chilly. But besides that, it is nice out. You know, the sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. I wonder if he has to use the bathroom. Because he used to usually walk. He usually uses the bathroom around where that pole is. That metal pole, like around there. Oh no, he's just foraging. You're just foraging? Unless he's planning to save corn for later, probably. Because I've been noticing he's been saving his corn for later on. And then he comes back at night to eat it. But Buck is doing great. He's in the beginning stages of rut. I know because his glands by his legs, the hairs are starting to get dark. That's how I usually know he's going into rut. But, you know, Buck, with me, he's a good boy, thank God. I feel so blessed to be best friends with a male deer. And even though, like, male deers, like, you know, they go through rut season, which is like when a male deer is in heat. You know what I mean? So I feel very blessed and thankful that Buck is well behaved with me, you know? He's always well behaved, thank God. He's always well behaved. He's a very good boy. Buck is a sweetheart. He's like very sweet to me. You better not get your antlers stuck in the fence. Because I don't know, he's like foraging very close to the fence. One year, he almost got one of his antlers stuck into the fence that I had to like kind of like maneuver his antlers to help him unhook him from the fence. It honestly, like, it scared me a little bit. I was like, oh man, like, are you kidding me? But then thank God his antlers weren't all the way through the fence where it was easy to unhook him, you know? So I hope he doesn't do that again. Like, please, Buck, don't do that. Don't get yourself stuck into the fence again. But it is kind of chilly cold. I have a sweater on where I feel like if I had a jacket on top of my sweater, I probably would have been comfortable. Like, I'm actually still a little cold, just a little bit. I'm a tiny bit still a little cold. But I'm going to stay out here for 10 minutes with him, and then I got to go in. I wish he would pop up in the mornings and not take his time, because in the mornings I could spend the longest time with him when my husband is home, you know, because my husband goes to work at noon. So it would work out perfect where I could spend like a half hour to an hour with him every morning. But in the mornings, he doesn't always pop up. You know, he has a mind of his own. I think that's Red, the cardinal, chirping. Yep. I just don't know where he is, but I hear him chirping. So cute. And I don't know if now the chipmunks are starting to hibernate slowly, but I haven't seen so many chipmunks around like I used to now that it's starting to get cold out. And Buck is over there foraging right now, like right by the fence. On the bottom of the fence, there's plants. So he's like foraging on everything. And all the leaves are falling. My husband literally did the blower here on Saturday, and now there's leaves again. There's not that much leaves, it's not that bad. Well, there's still a whole bunch of leaves on that tree that have to fall, and all these trees have to fall. So there's still a lot of leaves that have to fall. But usually my husband, he keeps up with it like all winter before the snow comes. Like, he'll give it like a nice good leaf blower, like blow with the leaf blower. He'll clean it up, so then the springtime it's not so messy, you know, where I could actually plant the grass seeds and stuff and the 4-leaf clovers. But in April it's good because then I can actually go in there and plant them myself. So I'm excited about that for springtime, but we have a long way to go before spring. The winter didn't even come here yet. Buck, what are you doing, baby? Oh, he's so funny. What are you doing? He's eating leaves, plants that are like hanging out. Like, there's plants that's like going on his side, but they're on our side, but they're like peeking at through our side, and he's eating them. Meanwhile, he knows he's allowed to jump through to come on our side to eat them. You could come on our side and eat them. Who's my big boy? He's just hanging around. You just hanging out? Buck is just hanging out. Pretty soon, guys, I'm gonna go in. Just in case if my son starts crying. And my father-in-law, he does pick him up. Because there's been many times my father-in-law watches him. And I'll walk into the house and just find my father-in-law sitting on the couch and the baby just like chilling on him. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, was he crying? He was like, yeah, but it's okay. He was like, I picked him up, now he's good. So I know my son, you know, my father-in-law is 100% great with the baby. I only, you know, get a little worried, like if the baby starts like crying and wanting me. But I know he's good with him. And like I said, my father-in-law has a bad arm. So my son is the type, when he wakes up from a nap, he wants to be held and rocked. And my father-in-law doesn't have good arms, like strong arms to do that, you know. He has like a weak arm. So that's the only reason why when my father-in-law watches him, I don't stay out here too long, you know. I don't overdo it. Just in case if my father-in-law has to pick up my son, he doesn't have to hold him for too long, you know. This is my big boy. You my big boy, Buck? Do I get kisses before I leave? Do I get kisses before I leave? Do I get kisses before I leave? Oh, my big boy. You're such a good boy. Good boy. Good boy. I do get kisses before I leave. Good boy. You're looking the metal too. Everything is yours. Usually when deers, when they lick like an item, like a tree or something, that's their way of saying like, this is mine. I see squirrels running around everywhere. Like that's their way of saying like, this is mine. Buck, we know everything is yours. Yeah, everything is yours, baby. This fence is yours. Our side is yours. Even my mother-in-law said, she was like, our side is Buck's too. She's like, he just can't eat all our bushes and stuff. But it could be his too. I was like, oh yeah, he definitely looks at our side like it's his side. Right? You're so cute. You're so cute, my big boy. Yeah, everything is yours. You own everything, right? You own this whole forest, my big boy. You're the king of this forest. You own that pole right here. He owns this fence. You own everything. I see squirrels right now chasing each other. It's so funny. Oh, I got deer slobber all over my hands, but it's okay. It's worth it for him. Then I'll scrub my hands when I go inside. I always have to wash my hands once I go in. Because then I have like corn powder all over my hands. Deer saliva. Yeah, so this time of the season, oh, there's a little mosquito or something, which I'm shocked because it's cold outside. Usually around this time of the season, Buck will start licking the trees that are close by here. Like he'll start marking all around here. Like he literally starts probably letting all the other deers and other animals know like this is mine. Like he becomes very territorial around this time of the season. Right, big boy? Right? Right? Come here. Come over here. Come over here. Come here. Come here. You want me to come there? Really? You want me to come there? Yeah, he gets very territorial and very overprotected over me. I have to say, because I remember last year and the year before that, he wouldn't even let squirrels or raccoons come next to me around the time that he was in rut. So he becomes very overprotected over me and this area, like this whole area right here. Right, big boy? You protect mommy. Mommy protects you and you protect mommy. You're so cute. Yeah, so he kind of like protects me from all the other animals, which he feels like he has to protect me. And he protects, like he guards, like you see how he's standing right now. So if anybody comes up in my driveway, that's how he stands. Like he has to look and make sure that nobody is like trying to hurt me or close to me. He becomes very overprotected over me. I noticed that every year around this time. Right, big boy? All right, guys, I've been out here almost 15 minutes, and I told my father-in-law it was going to be 10 minutes, so I'm going to run inside now. I wish I could stay out here longer with him, but I have to tend to my son, you know, and I got to go feed my son his dinner. I will be back hopefully tomorrow morning, like I said. With the mornings, it's all up to Buck, what he plans on doing, you know? So hopefully tomorrow morning he shows up so I can see him. We'll see what he has in mind for tomorrow morning. I hope he comes so I could spend, you know, I could see him at least twice out of the whole day. But we'll see. I hope everybody has a great day, a great evening, and a good night. Stay warm and cozy because it is pretty chilly here. And me and Buck, we both will be back tomorrow morning with another video. All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your evening. And me and this big boy will be back tomorrow morning. Ciao for now.